So here we are, unfortunately, having to debate these people because they won't debate. So Larry Fink, he'll come on Fareed Zakaria and answer, questions that were sent to him probably months ago or something. Mr. Larry Fink running through the streets of Davos away from the Jewish reporter up there in Canada, Ezra Levant, running through the streets like a chicken man through the streets of Davos. That's probably because he heard somebody talking about somebody should pick up a rock, one of those hard granite sharp rocks on the side or up behind the buildings and start hammering people. So we are, and we have to debate these people like this. This is the only way, like a lunatic. I got to sit here and record a fucking TV show like a lunatic and offset the lies that they're telling you people. And maybe to hope somebody hears it and learns from it.
At the Aspen Ideas Festival, I sat down with Larry Fink.
So they had to go check out their bunkers. They go check out their bunkers there once a year.
Asset management firm in the world.
So the Iran war is over. Oil prices are down. Let's do this. To be over.
Yeah, the Iran war is over. Oil prices are down. Watch what he says.
Oil prices are down, basically to pre-war levels. What does that mean for the global economy going forward? What does it look like to you?
Well, I would say if you just follow the oil market,
of course, that's all that matters, right?
you would say that the globalization is really working.
That's right. It sure is. Working for them. So follow the oil market, and then that's just one part of it. But what he said there is the global markets are working. The global markets are working. What he's saying is it's working in putting you in absolute fucking poverty. See, the oil prices in China compared to the dollar is like 2 to 1. The oil prices in Mexico compared to their peso are like 3 to 1. The oil prices in Australia and other places are all basically 5 to 7 times more than what it is in the United States. Well, okay, 3 to 5. Meaning you have to be rich in order to drive in those countries, and you have to be rich in order to fuel up a little 4-cylinder piece of shit car. Okay? So yeah, it's working. It's working, destroying America. And as most of you are now figuring out between payments and insurance and fuel, soon you're going to have to be rich here to drive a vehicle. So yeah, it's working.
When you have an energy shock, when between 10 and 20 million barrels a day,
which they caused, they caused this.
We're not being able.
They caused capitalism. They caused the scarcity model to destroy capitalism, to make it look like capitalism tripped over its own feet. But they caused the scarcity model. They shut down the businesses with the pandemic. They launched the viruses. They made people sick. They opened the border and let 100 million people in 25 fucking years, from 2000 to 2025. But yet capitalism failed.
To be transported.
Which destroyed your wages.
The oil market trades on the last barrel. And there was, if you spoke to...
So now they're going to put the finishing knife in the back of your neck and tell you, while there's an energy shortage, and now you're going to have to live like a pauper. I make over 6 figures a year, and not from this fucking video shit, from like acquiring wealth and owning properties, the hard old-fashioned pain way. And I can barely afford half this shit.
The leaders of the energy company, some of them were saying privately, we could take
I can afford that.
$200 oil during that period of time. But the global economy actually mitigated much of the stresses.
I used to work on those.
China cut back their daily consumption by 4
U.S. Merchant Marine.
Now, they used reserves. They probably used more coal. But also China is building 100 gigawatts of power through nuclear as we speak. They're building the largest solar fields in the world
Holy shit,
today.
That's huge.
And so they're rapidly becoming less dependent on hydrocarbons. Abu Dhabi, during this whole episode, left OPEC. And
there's plenty of hydrocarbons, fuel, fossil fuels. There's just too many of you, is what he's saying. You have to learn. You have to know how these people speak.
They had capacity to...
That's what I'm here for you.
Export another 1 million barrels. The U.S., because of the resiliency of our production, we were able to produce an extra 3 million barrels. Venezuela went from 200,000 barrels pre-U.S. involvement to about 1.3 million. So,
And 1.3 million with the United States uses 20 million barrels a day. So even with Venezuela coming online, and it's actually not even online, it's really like 1 million barrels a day. You don't have the sailors to retrieve the oil and bring it back to the Kinder Morgan docks in New Orleans and Port Arthur, Texas, at the only refinery that we have. So even with Venezuela, with the United States producing anywhere from 10 to 12.5, you had Venezuela, let's just say 15. Let's just say even with Venezuela adding double production, 15 million barrels a day in the U.S.'s pocket, you're still a net negative of 5 million barrels a day. And you have about 325 million barrels in the strategic petroleum reserve. So negative 7.5 right now from that every day. And you got about 75 days left of fuel, and that's with production.
well, it basically equalized. And if there is a true peace,
The United States. Oh, and by the way, China has like 3 years of oil stockpiled.
if Iran has the ability to sell their oil without sanctions freely in the market, oil is going to $50.
Because nobody's driving because you're all poor. That's why it collapsed. Just like it did in the spring of 2020, because nobody was driving. Well, this time nobody's driving because they can't afford to drive.
And that's the power of the push and pull of the global economies and how it can be rapidly mitigated. I mean,
And how it can be rapidly utilized to destroy the United States of America, take your guns and put you fuckers into slavery.
for me to watch,
Okay, I can't fucking stand looking at this guy no more.